DisasterCentral special report. My name is David Vela, reporting in from Houston, Texas. We're coming in on the air to provide live coverage on an ongoing situation in Japan. Right now, we can report that a magnitude 7.6 earthquake has struck northern Japan, and that there's tsunami warnings now in effect for these portions of Japan, including in the prefectures of Aomori, Iwate, and Hokkaido. In multiple locations, tsunami waves have already reached, and tsunami waves have already reached, and aftershocks are expected. We are also expecting the announcement of a mega earthquake advisory to be issued within the next couple of hours, perhaps in the next press conference, once they're evaluating what the threat is. You're right now currently listening to NHK's coverage.
Tsunami is up to 3 meters. So even though many areas have already observed tsunami waves of less than 1 meter, more waves could hit the area, and tsunami waves could hit repeatedly and get stronger.
Waves of up to 3 meters are expected in multiple locations, including those that are in the red. That would include portions of Aomori, Iwate, and the Hokkaido prefectures. Within those areas, you could expect waves of up to 3 meters. And in some of these locations, we've already been hearing news of we've been hearing news already of evacuations ongoing. Tsunami waves have already hit in some of the areas. I'm also here to report right now what we know so far. We know that the cities of Goshokawara City and Aomori, and in Mutsu City in Aomori, and additionally in Otsuchi Town and Iwate prefectures have announced evacuation warnings, or have announced mandatory evacuations for those that are within their city limits. The number is going to be expected to continue to rise. If you are in the tsunami warning, you need to take shelter immediately. This is not a joke. Tsunami warnings, you know, if you're in Japan, you need to understand that in some locations, you have been hit by tsunamis before. You've been hit by 2011 if you live in some of these areas in northern Iwate. In Hachinobi City in Aomori Prefecture, this is just being reported just now. An evacuation order has been issued because of a large earthquake that occurred, and it is necessary to pay attention
Once again,
to such tsunami, so evacuation orders are being issued. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send them in the chat. The depth is 10 kilometers, and that number is still being revised and updated constantly, so we'll keep hearing updates from them as well.
He said at around 11:15 p.m. on Monday.
This earthquake struck at around 11:15 p.m. local time, or around 8:15 a.m. In Central Daylight Time, 9:15 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for those that are there. And the earthquake has continued, or the earthquake struck. About 15 minutes later, tsunami warnings were issued. And the tsunami warnings continue to remain there. We're also awaiting a mega earthquake advisory to be issued, possibly within the next couple of days, especially, possibly within the next couple of days, if the or the next couple of hours, if the reassessment suggests that it is imperative to have such advisories, but we're waiting for that to happen. We're also awaiting a press conference that will begin shortly.
Once again, as we've been reporting, waves have reached the coast in the following places. So if you are in any of the areas under tsunami warning that is indicated with red line on the map of Japan, you can see on the right-hand side of your screen, please keep evacuating. Waves have
We're continuing live coverage until the tsunami warnings are expired. But until then, I'll be here on the air to provide live coverage. You're watching NHK's live coverage.
Tsunami waves of 50 centimeters.
Waves have already struck the region. In some areas, they've seen waves of up to 50 centimeters, which is very strong, considering the fact that those 50 centimeters can knock down a person very quickly. It is nothing to be joked about, and the situation continues to escalate as time continues. We will be awaiting reports. We will be awaiting news if it's whenever we get it. Multiple. It's important to note that waves come in multiple. Tsunamis come in multiple waves, and the important thing is going to be that new information we're about to listen in.
12:15 and in Twitter on X, and people in affected areas, please evacuate to the higher location or the tallest building nearest to you. And if the tsunami has reached, there could be second and third waves that could be higher. So please stay on alert and try to check the updated information on related tsunami, and please keep evacuating until everything is lifted. And new information about injuries. So in Hokkaido, on fire department under tsunami warning, up to 12:30, Hidaka City, there was a lady who was evacuating, and on the iced road, she fell down and was hospitalized. So far, there are no other information about the injuries, so the authorities trying to collect the information.
Now again, tsunami observations in Kuji are 50 centimeters in Hokkaido Uragawa Port, 50 centimeters Mutsu Odawara Port, 40 centimeters Hachinohe Port, 30 centimeters Erimo Town, 30 centimeters Shiraoi Town 20 centimeters, Tomakomai Higashi Port 20 centimeters, Kamaishi Port 20 centimeters, Ayukawa 10 centimeters, Miyako Port tsunami has reached, and Ovnato as well. Tsunami has already reached. Tsunami waves could hit repeatedly, and they could get stronger and bigger. Please keep evacuating. In 3 meters of tsunami could reach in areas under tsunami warning. Some cars traveling on the bridge. The street lights are on in Kushiro City, is under tsunami advisory. Now the updated tsunami observations have been issued in Ayukawa, 20 centimeters, Ishinomaki 20 centimeters, Hakodate or the minor tsunami, and Tokachi port tsunami waves have arrived. This is the updated information. 50 centimeters in Kuji port, 50 centimeters Urakawa town, 40 centimeters Mutsuwawara port, 30 centimeters Hachinohe port, 30 centimeters Erimo town, 20 centimeters Shiraoi town, Hakodate port, several centimeters, Tokachi port, tsunami has been observed. The Miyako port tsunami has been observed, and Ofnato port tsunami.
This is the central area, Yosamai Park, which is on the raised location. And I'm in a safe location where it is 20 meters high. So in Kushiro City, there's a tsunami warning. And within this tsunami area, the estimated arrival time of tsunami is 12 p.m. and I have passed here. And in the Yosamai Park, where I am, you can see people who are evacuating. And about 5 or 6 people have been seen at a maximum level. And in evacuation area where it's next to this park, the person said that, like on Great East Japan earthquake and the earthquake in the Kamchatka, this person remembered those incidents and tried to evacuate. And right now, this area, you don't see that much car driving down this road that we are seeing right now. But right after tsunami warning has been issued, there are people who are trying to climb up to this area on foot or by car. And there are some snows, and you can see it is. This is Nusamai Park in Kushiro City. And we go to Tomakomai, Hokkaido, where it registered an earthquake of lower 5. So lower 5 jolt has been observed, and also tsunami warning is issued in this Tomakomai City, Hokkaido. Where I am right now is the center part of Tomakomai City, and this is the NHK Tomakomai Bureau. I'm in front of this bureau. And right now in Tomakomai City, this is midnight, so you don't see that much people walking around. But within the city, you can see there are no cars or people walking by. And as far as I can see from here, there are no broken glasses or the damages from the earthquake. And you don't see any sounds of an emergency vehicles. And right after the earthquake, I was in my home where it's 5 minutes walk away from here. And there is 30 seconds of a horizontal jolt, and you couldn't keep standing. And I tried to just hold on to a table nearby. And after that, once the jolt had stopped, I walked from my home to this bureau, and I saw a convenience store on my way to bureau, and there are objects that has been scattering on the floor of the convenience store, but we don't see people.
We are listening in on NHK coverage of the major earthquake that's happening in Japan right now. Apologies for the lags. We're having a lot of lagging issues right now, and I'm trying to solve them right now. In the meantime, you are listening and watching to the NHK coverage. We'll come back on the air when we need to relay information.
And the magnitude is estimated at 7.6. Authorities have issued a tsunami warning for the Pacific coastline in northern Japan, including Iwate Prefecture and parts of Hokkaido and Aomori prefectures. Authorities warned that waves as high as 3 meters could hit the prefectures. So if you are in any of the areas under tsunami warning, please keep evacuating to higher ground. And if there's no hill nearby, go to the top of the tallest building around you or escape as far away from the coast as you can. Do not stop where you are or go back. And a tsunami advisory is in place for other parts of the region, including Miyagi and Fukushima prefectures. They are calling on people to stay away from the coastline as well as the mouths of rivers. Strong tremors were felt across the region. Tremors with an intensity of upper 6 on the Japanese intensity scale of 0 to 7 were observed in the city of Hachinohe in Aomori Prefecture. If you are in these areas, try to remain in a safe place and protect yourself. Use extreme caution if you must move. Damage around you could be heavy. Stay on the alert. More tremors are possible. And Prime Minister Takaichi Sanae entered the Prime Minister's office shortly after 11:50 p.m. on Monday. She had this to say.
I gave the following instructions to immediately provide information on tsunami and evacuation to people in an appropriate manner, to take thorough measures to prevent damage, such as the evacuation of residents, to grasp the extent of damage as soon as possible, and also the government must work closely with laws and make the utmost effort to take emergency measures, such as emergency response, including rescue for the affected people.
A hotel employee in the city of Hachinohe, Aomori, where an intensity of upper 6 was observed, said, "It seems there are multiple injured people. Everyone appears to be conscious." Tokyo Electric Power Company says power outages are affecting about 3,900 households in Aomori Prefecture and about 300 households in Iwate Prefecture. Tokyo Electric Power Company says it has confirmed no abnormalities at the Fukushima Daiichi and Daini nuclear plants. Tohoku Electric Power Company says no abnormalities have been detected at the Higashi-Dori nuclear power plant in Aomori Prefecture or the Onagawa plant in Miyagi Prefecture. Hokkaido Electric Power Company says no problems have been found at the Tomari nuclear power plant in the prefecture. Now, as we've been reporting, waves have been observed in wide areas in northern Japan. But please stay on the alert because more waves could hit the same region. So if you are in any of the areas under tsunami warning, which is indicated with red line on the map of Japan, please keep evacuating, and if there's no hill nearby, go to the top of the tallest building around you or escape as far away from the coast as you can. Tsunami waves have been observed in the following areas. Tsunami waves of 50 centimeters have been observed in Kuji Port in Iwate Prefecture. 50 centimeter of tsunami has also been observed in Hokkaido's Urakawa town. Tsunami waves of 40 centimeter has been observed in Mutsu Ogawara, port in Aomori Prefecture. Tsunami wave of 30 centimeters have been observed in Aomori Prefecture's Hachinohe port and in Hokkaido's Erimo town. And tsunami waves of 20 centimeters have been observed in Hokkaido's Shiraoi town and Tomakomai East port, and also in Iwate Prefecture's Kamaishi port, as well as Miyagi Prefecture's Ishinomaki City's Ayukawa. And Hakodate port in Hokkaido has seen few centimeters of tsunami. And tsunami has also reached the coastlines of Hiro town's Tokachi port in Hokkaido, and also in Iwate Prefecture's Miyako port and Ofunato port. But as I say, do not let your guard down because more waves could hit the region. Tsunami waves of up to 3 meters are expected to hit the areas indicated with red line on the map of Japan, so please keep evacuating. Now, once again, let's listen to NHK's domestic service.
そうですね。周りの方の分かる範囲でですが、避難というのは進んでいるような。
Do people evacuated already? This is at a high school. This is a local school, the designated evacuation center. But I haven't seen anybody here. Nobody has taken refuge yet. Have you observed any people on their way to evacuation stations or any trouble? I observed the head-on the collision of the vehicles. There are many cars. I think that is the road toward Hachinohe interchange, Hakusandai area. I saw the vehicles, the head-on collisions of vehicles. I think it's already be very cold there. Do you have any problems or any warnings to people who are about to evacuate? There hasn't been no snow, but the temperature has gone down very low, much lower than yesterday. So you need to dress warm, and you need to have a stock of water, the batteries, and some food in your bag when you are to evacuate. Thank you. I was talking with Mr. Kato, the the principal of the local high school of Iwate Prefecture. Now again, the tsunami observation in Kuji port, the 50 centimeters of tsunami waves have been observed. 50 centimeters in Urakawa town, 40 centimeters in Mutsu Ogawara port, 30 centimeters Hachinohe port, 30 centimeters at Erimo town, and 20 centimeters in Shiraoi town, and 20 centimeters in Tomakomai East port, and 20 centimeters in Kamaishi port, 20 centimeters in Ishinomaki Ayashi, and several centimeters at the Hakodate port, and in Tokachi port and Miyako port, tsunami waves have been observed, and in Ofunato port as well, tsunami waves have been observed.
Higher tsunami could hit the area, and after the first tsunami has been observed, there could be a higher tsunami, and we are facing with the possibility that the higher tsunami could hit the area. So please do not let your guard down. Now, new information then. So, Defense Minister Koizumi at 12:30 a.m. going into the building with the information and instruction from Prime Minister Takaishi. He says that he'll try to have close communication with local authorities and municipality and try to collect information and take appropriate measures. And with the ground, maritime, and air self-defense forces, we would like to focus on saving people's lives first and do utmost to come up with the countermeasures. And with that, as an MOD and SDF, it is going to set up the task force and headquarters to try to collect the information and try to coordinate with the relevant agencies and ministries to try to come up with disaster countermeasures. And now they observed tsunami. So in Kuji Port, Iwate Prefecture, 50 centimeters at 12:10, and Urakawa Town, Hokkaido, 50 centimeters on 12:38, and Mutsuogawara Port, 40 centimeters of tsunami at 11:43 yesterday, and Hachinohe Port, 30 centimeters.
For those of you just joining us, you're tuned into NHK's international service, NHK World Japan. As we've been reporting, a strong earthquake has struck northern Japan. The quake struck off the eastern coast of Aomori Prefecture at 11:15 p.m. on Monday. Its focus was 50 kilometers deep, and the magnitude is estimated at 7.6. Authorities have issued a tsunami warning for the Pacific coastline in northern Japan, including Iwate Prefecture and parts of Hokkaido and Aomori prefectures. Authorities warned that waves as high as 3 meters could hit the prefectures. So if you are in any of the areas under tsunami warning, you should keep evacuating to higher ground. And if there's no hill nearby,
This is a DisasterCentral special report. Breaking news coming in from the Japanese Meteorological Agency. The JMA is now reporting that that they're investigating the possibility of a major mega earthquake, or the possibility of a mega earthquake happening in Japan as a result of today's 7.6 earthquake that struck the region of northern Japan. This is exceptionally rare, and we're going to come on the air right now because they are introducing, we're coming on the air right now because they are about to introduce the Prime Minister.
To take thorough measures to prevent damage, such as evacuation of residents, and to grasp the extent of damage as soon as possible. And also, the government must work closely with local governments and make the utmost effort to take emergency measures such as emergency response, including rescue for the affected people. So those are the instructions I gave to the relevant parties.
a hotel employee in city of Hachinohe, Aomori Prefecture, where an intensity of upper 6 was observed, said, "It seems there are multiple injured people. Everyone appears to be conscious." Tokyo Electric Power Company says power outages are affecting about 3,900 households in Aomori Prefecture and about 300 households in Iwate Prefecture. Tokyo Electric Power Company says it has confirmed no abnormalities at the Fukushima Daiichi and Daini nuclear plants. Tohoku Electric Power Company says no abnormalities have been detected at the Higashi-Dori nuclear power plant in Aomori Prefecture or the Onagawa plant in Miyagi Prefecture. Hokkaido Electric Power Company says no problems have been found at the Tomari nuclear power plant in the free. As we've been reporting, waves have been observed in wide areas in northern Japan, and we have more information coming in regarding this observation of tsunami on shore. Tsunami waves of 50 centimeters have been observed in Iwate Prefecture's Kuji Port and Hokkaido's Urakawa Town. Tsunami waves of 40 centimeters have been observed in Aomori Prefecture's Mutsu Ogawara port and also in Hachinohe port. 30 centimeters of tsunami has been observed in Erimo town in Hokkaido, and 20 centimeters of tsunami have been observed in the following areas: Hokkaido's Shiraoi town, Tomakomai East Port, Iwate Prefecture's Kamaishi Port, Ishinomaki City's Ayukawa in Miyagi Prefecture, and also in Hokkaido's Hiro town's Tokachi Port. Tsunami waves of 10 centimeters have been observed in Hokkaido's Mori town and in Hakodate Port. And tsunami has also reached the coastlines of Iwate Prefecture's Miyako Port and Ofunato Port. But do not let your guard down because more waves could hit the areas. Remember that tsunami waves of up to 3 meters are expected to impact the areas under tsunami warning, which are Hokkaido Prefecture's Central Pacific Coast, Aomori Prefecture's Pacific Coast, and in Iwate Prefecture. So please do not let your guard down. And if you are in any of the areas indicated with red line on the map of Japan, please keep evacuating to higher ground. If there's no hill nearby, go to the top of the tallest building around you or escape as far away from the coast as you can. Do not stop where you are or go back. Now let's listen in to NHK's domestic service with simultaneous interpretation.
So from Hokkaido to Iwate Prefecture, Tsushima Sea Trench and Mishima Sea Trench and around these areas, if there's a magnitude 7 class earthquake happens, you have to prepare for the possible major earthquake. So these are issued right now. The magnitude 7.6 has been estimated for the scale of the tsunami. So there is a news conference scheduled with the Chief Cabinet Secretary's office and also JMA. And there was announcement that they will hold a news conference. So here, this is the off the coast of Hokkaido, Sanriku, subsequent earthquake. I think if there is a magnitude 7.6 or stronger earthquake happening, there is a relative possibility of these kind of major earthquake that could happen subsequently. And if there is an announcement, you have to check the evacuation route and also try to have the evacuation bags to have.
This is a Disaster Central special report. My name is David Vela, reporting in from Houston, Texas, coming in on the air with breaking news. This has just been announced by the AP and by NHK. NHK is now reporting that there's a, quote, possibility of a mega earthquake happening within that area, within that trench, the Sanriku Trench. Again, this is the same. This is the northern part of the same trench that has caused the 9.1 earthquake in the past in 2011, and multiple of the big aftershocks that have happened ever since. It is important to note that if you are in Japan and that if you are under the coastlines of Tohoku or in Hokkaido, or I would say all of the Pacific coast, including some of the coasts within the Sea of Japan, you need to start getting your evacuation plans ready just in case the major earthquake does happen. The mega earthquake does happen. We are still awaiting the joint press conference with the Japanese government and the Japanese Meteorological Agency, which will be happening shortly. In the meantime, you are watching NHK's live domestic coverage, and we are continuing to broadcast that to the people out there. If you do have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can send them in the chat, tagging at DisasterCentral for live coverage. We are going to continue live coverage until the tsunami warnings expire, and we will continue aftermath coverage until we are no longer needed. But until then, coverage continues on Disaster Central, and we're still watching NHK's live domestic coverage.
In Kuji Port in Iwate Prefecture at 1:08 a.m. The JMA's press conference has just is now beginning.
So now the time to start the news conference. Yes, so we'll give the explanation. So on 11:35, there was an earthquake off the Aomori Prefecture. So we would like to give the update. So we have been issuing tsunami warning to Hokkaido coastal area, central coastal area, Aomori Prefecture, Pacific Coast, Iwate Prefecture. So we have issued tsunami warning to these areas. And for these areas, people in the coastal areas or nearby the river have to evacuate immediately. And if you have evacuated already, please keep evacuating. So right now, the tsunami warning is issued to Hokkaido, Central Pacific Coast, Aomori Pacific Coastal Area, and Iwate Prefecture. And other than that, tsunami advisory is issued to the area nearby these areas. So the earthquake had registered upper 6 in Aomori Prefecture. So these are the distribution of the earthquake, and you can see the upper 6 in Aomori and to Hokkaido to Chubu area. There are large areas that have been hit with a jolt, and the areas with the strong jolt, there is a danger of the landslide and also possible damages. And so please be on alert, and please do not go into the hazardous areas. About 1 week or so, especially 2 or 3 days after this, there could be an earthquake that could be up to upper 6. So please do not let your guard down. And in these areas, there were various consecutive earthquakes. So there could be a possibility that the stronger jolt could hit this area. So please take every precaution. So these are the tsunami warnings and advisories. So tsunami warning has been issued in Central Pacific Coast of Hokkaido and Pacific coastal areas of Aomori Prefecture and Iwate Prefecture. And tsunami advisory is at the East Pacific Coast and West Pacific Coast Hokkaido, and also Pacific Coast in Aomori and Miyagi and Fukushima areas. These yellow highlighted areas are under tsunami advisory. So the first wave of the tsunamis, the estimated time is now like this. So as indicated in this map, so these are like on 12 a.m. and 1 a.m. So the first wave has reached to the areas near the epicenter, and we have receiving the report of the tsunami that have been actually reached the area. And in these areas, please evacuate to the higher ground and try to evacuate as far away from the coastal areas as possible. And areas under the advisory, please go as far away from the coast and do not go into the ocean. The tsunami could hit repeatedly in longer time, and also the second and third wave could be higher than the initial first wave. So please continue evacuating until all the warnings and advisories are lifted. So these are the tsunami observation information right now. So as you can see on this map, from Hokkaido to Tohoku area and the Pacific coastal areas, the tsunami has been observed. So the highest areas we have seen like on 0.5 meters or 0.4 meters.
And 50 centimeters in Kuji Port, Urakawa 40 centimeters, Mutsu Ogawara Port in Aomori 40 centimeters as well. These are the latest tsunami observations, but the tsunami waves could get higher, so please stay on alert. This is the tsunami waveforms. I use the 50 centimeters or 40 centimeters, but this is the wave observed in Urakawa, Hokkaido, and in Kuji Port in Iwate. 50 centimeters of tsunami waves have been observed. So this shows the 15 p.m. When the tsunami occurred, and then the tsunami continues to be observed. So please continue evacuating in areas under tsunami warning and tsunami the advisory. This is a GSS wave gauges set of the coast, and in Iwate Kamaishi off the coast of Kinkasan, and off the coast of Hirota Bay of Iwate Prefecture. These waves show tsunamis. There are about the variations of 10 centimeters, but the wave height could be 10 times higher when tsunami reaches the coastline. The 15 p.m. on 8th of December, tsunami was observed, and the earthquakes have been detected and occurred, and it was 7.6 on the Richter scale, and it was 50 kilometers below the surface of the earth off the coast of Aomori Prefecture, and the tsunami intensity of the upper 6 was observed in Hachinohe City, and also the 3 tsunami, the earthquakes observed 3 times of the intensity of the 1, and these are the warnings. Particularly in areas where tsunami warning has been issued, you are urged to immediately evacuate to higher places or the evacuation building, and please stay in a safe place until tsunami warning is lifted.
And there are strong jolts that have been observed. So in those areas, there's a heightened danger possibility of the collapsed housings and also landslides. So please be aware of the latest weather conditions and rains, and please do not go into the hazardous area unless necessary. And the outlook for the further seismic activities. So in this past, about 1 week after the major earthquake, there could be a similar level or the intensity of earthquake that had happened. So in these areas affected, up to 1 week, please prepare for possible upper 6 earthquakes. And there could be stronger earthquake that could hit the area, so please do not let your guard down. Especially 2 or 3 days after the earthquake happened, there could be a possibility that a strong jolt could subsequently hit the area. And about the off the coast, Hokkaido and Hazanrika subsequent earthquake advisory, we are trying to identify whether this would apply. And in a separate news conference for the official announcement, we are trying to determine everything in detail. And this is the distribution of the intensity and the estimated intensity. So the upper 6 was observed in Aomori off the coast areas, and near the epicenter, there is a strong intensity that has been observed. And also the distribution of the estimated intensity of the earthquake without any monitoring devices. With the Aomori prefecture in the center, there is strong jolt that could hit the area. And here, this is about the long period ground motion observation information. So we have classes like 3 people have difficulty keep standing, and this is a Sanpachi North Aomori Prefecture, and also class 1 to 2 of the long period ground motion is observed in the highlighted areas. And this is about the announcement of the earthquake early warning that had been issued. So 3 times we have issued earthquake early warning. So 4.1 seconds after the earthquake, we had issued a warning, and we have expanded the area under this warning. So total of 3 times of earthquake early warning have been issued. And this is the detailed information. So this is the area under the earthquake early warning. And these are the activities and the earthquake observation near this epicenter. So this red highlighted area is applying this, and also the blue dotted areas. There are earthquakes after the initial jolt.
This shows the details of where the earthquake occurred. This is the cross section. This shows the distribution of the observed intensity. This time, the earthquake occurred here. The Pacific plate and land plate meets.
This is NHK's International Broadcasting Service, NHK World Japan. We have been breaking news on Japan's earthquake and tsunami. A strong earthquake has struck northern Japan. The quake struck off the eastern coast of Aomori Prefecture at 11:15 p.m. on Monday. Its focus was 50 kilometers deep, and the magnitude is estimated at 7.6. Authorities have issued a tsunami warning for the Pacific coastline in northern Japan, including Iwate Prefecture and parts of Hokkaido and Aomori prefectures. Authorities warn that waves as high as 3 meters could hit the prefectures. So if you are in any of the areas under a tsunami warning, you need to evacuate right now. Get to higher places farthest away from coastline or river mouth, which could overflow. And also a tsunami advisory is in place for other parts of the region, including Miyagi and Fukushima prefectures. Authorities are calling on people to stay away from the coastline as well as the mouths of rivers if you're in areas under a tsunami advisory. Strong tremors were felt across the region. Tremors with an intensity of upper 6 on the Japanese intensity scale of 0 to 7 were observed in the city of Hachinohe in Aomori Prefecture. If you are in these areas, try to remain in a safe place and protect yourself. Use extreme caution if you must move. Damage around you could be heavy. Stay alert. More tremors are possible. Even houses and buildings that survived the initial tremor could take more damage and could possibly collapse. So especially if you're in areas that have recorded a Japanese seismic scale of 6 or higher, it is a good idea to evacuate to the outside of your house or buildings, because the building that you are in right now could collapse or take more damage if there's another tremor. And we have an update on tsunami observation. Those are the actual tsunami waves observed onshore. Kuji Port in Iwate, 70 centimeters. Again, Kuji Port in Iwate Prefecture has seen waves of up to 70 centimeters. Urakami Town in Hokkaido, 50 centimeters. And now even a 50-centimeter tsunami, you may think this is not that high, but even a 50-centimeter tsunami can exert power of up to 200 kilograms on a person's legs and making it impossible for even an adult person to stay upright. So do not underestimate the power of tsunami. Mutsu Ogawara Port in Aomori, 40 centimeters. Hachinohe Port in Aomori, also 40. Erimo Town in Hokkaido, 30 centimeters, and Shiraoi Town in Hokkaido has seen 20 centimeters of tsunami waves. Shiraoi is under a tsunami advisory, so even those places under tsunami advisory are getting their initial waves on shore, and remember, more waves are on the way. And the list continues. Tomakomai East Port in Hokkaido, 20 centimeters. Kamaishi Port in Iwate, 20. Ishinomaki Ayukawa in Miyagi, 20. Tokachi Port in Hokkaido, 20 centimeters. Sendai Port in Miyagi, 20 centimeters. And Mori Town in Hokkaido, 10 centimeters. These are tsunami observations, actual tsunami waves that have been observed on shore. Hokkaido's Hakodate Port saw 10 centimeters of tsunami. And Soma Port in Fukushima, 10 centimeters there as well. And Miyako Port in Iwate and Ofunato Port in Iwate as well. Their waves, first wave, have reached in those ports respectively. And more waves are on the way. For those people under a tsunami warning, waves of up to 3 meters, and for those people under an advisory, waves of up to 1 meter are expected. So just because you're getting these heights of tsunami waves doesn't mean that this is the end of it. There will be more waves and higher waves on the way. So stay in a safe place, and if you have evacuated already, make sure where you are right now is far away enough from coastline or river mouth which could possibly overflow. And the last time a tsunami warning was issued was in July, when a magnitude 8.8 earthquake was recorded off the coast of Kamchatka Peninsula. It triggered a tsunami warning to wide areas of the Pacific coast, stretching from Hokkaido to Wakayama in western Japan. And again, a tsunami warning is in place this time too. As I have been repeating, waves of up to 3 meters are expected in those places under a tsunami warning. So stay in a safe place, keep evacuating until the officials lift all the warning and advisory. Tsunami warnings been issued for Hokkaido's Central Pacific Coast, Aomori's Pacific Coast, and Iwate prefectures. Those are the places under a tsunami warning, and those are the places that are also highlighted in red on the right-hand side map of your screen. And for tsunami advisory, here are the places under it. Hokkaido's West Pacific Coast, Miyagi, Fukushima, those under tsunami advisory, waves of up to 1 meter are expected. Fukushima Prefecture and Hokkaido, West Pacific Coast, and Miyagi on the list under a tsunami advisory, highlighted in yellow on the map on your screen. So if you are in any of the areas under an advisory, stay away from coastline or river mouth. And in the past, small fishing boats capsized in harbors under tsunami advisory. And now we are just about to switch to our domestic service through simultaneous interpretation.
Buildings and the vehicles nearby are on flame. At least 3 the fire brigade trucks are in operation. it's been unclear whether there are injuries. And this is about the Tokyo. In the Fukushima Daini nuclear power stations in Fukushima prefectures, no abnormalities have been observed, and there hasn't been no change in the measurement of the monitoring post nearby. In Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power stations, the decommission work is underway, and the workers there have been told to evacuate from the coastline, and there has been no abnormalities observed. And the monitoring posts of the radiation level, there has been no abnormal measurements. The tsunami advisory has been issued to the coastline of Fukushima prefectures. So workers on the decommissioning of Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power stations have been ordered to move to a safer place far away from the coast area. JMA has just held a press conference concerning the earthquake that occurred last night, and the similar level of earthquake they could follow, and people are advised to stay on alert. Yes, this is the area where the earthquakes continues. And in the 1940s, after the magnitude 7 earthquake occurred, the similarly large earthquakes they occurred in the immediate the following days.
So for about 1 week, people have to stay on alert for the possible earthquakes that's about 6 intensity or so. So with the upper 6 intensity, if there's a vulnerable wooden building structures, if there's a damage, with the further jolts, this could be facing a crisis of collapse, and also there could be a possible landslide with the loose grounds. So it is vulnerable to have the landslides. So there could be a similar tremors happening. So please do not go near the hazardous and dangerous areas. So there are some collapsed roads and also the ruptured pipes, and the building walls are falling down and the glasses are broken. Yes, so this is upper 6 intensity. So we have a scale of 0 to 7, but this is second from the top, so that's this strong. So you have to crawl in order to move, and the unfixed furniture could collapse and fall down, so that's this strong. So the areas are facing these type of possible holes that could happen, and also people could be injured. And Yoritomo-san, another point in the news conference. So there was a possibility of the off the coast of Hokkaido's and Sanriku subsequent earthquake advisory, and the JMA and the Cabinet Office going to give news conference around 2 a.m. Yes, so you have to listen to what they have to say. But if this kind of alert is going to be issued, this could be the first time that such announcement is officially issued. But with that, it is not urging people to evacuate. It is rather trying to make people reconfirm the preparedness of the possible earthquake. So the government is asking people to prepare for possible earthquakes, but it's not officially announced yet. They are trying to identify with further information that's been collected. So around 2 p.m., the Cabinet Office and the JMA is going to give an announcement and press conference for the off the coast of Hokkaido and Sanriku subsequent earthquake advisory. So Hachinohe City, Aomori Prefecture, the hotel worker says that there are multiple people with injuries, and they are calling the ambulance to deal with the situation, and people are conscious. And with the jolt of the earthquake, there was a thrust vertically happening, and then the jolt had happened in the horizontal workers, and we were on the assignment, so we were trying to hold onto the shelves, and the jolt stayed for 1 minute, and there are no damages to the buildings. So with the Hachinohe city, the hotel operator told us this story. So there are multiple people injured, and they're calling the ambulance to respond to the situation. People are conscious, and the jolt thrust upward had happened, and then there was a tremor on the horizontal weather, and they were trying to hold on to the shelves, and the tremor lasted for 1 minute, and there are objects that had fallen down, but there could be no damage to the building yet.
In Tomakomai West Port at 1:29 a.m. The 30 centimeters in Tomakomai, Shiraoi East Port. The height of the tsunami waves remain the same, but the observed time has been updated. And also in Kushiro Port, the several centimeters of tsunami have been observed. So these are the data from the tide stations, which they had the measurement sent to us.
We are coming to you live from our studios in Tokyo. This is NHK World Japan, NHK's international broadcasting service. We're bringing you breaking news on Japan's earthquake and tsunami. A strong earthquake has struck northern Japan. The quake struck off the eastern coast of Aomori Prefecture at 11:15 p.m. on Monday. Its focus was 50 kilometers deep, and the magnitude is estimated at 7.6. Authorities have issued a tsunami warning for the Pacific coastline in northern Japan, including Iwate Prefecture and parts of Hokkaido and Aomori prefectures. Authorities warned that waves as high as 3 meters could hit the prefectures, and we are already getting some information on the actual tsunami waves observed on shore in those 3 prefectures, so stay on alert. A tsunami advisory is in place for other parts of the region, including Miyagi and Fukushima prefectures. Strong tremors were felt across the region. Tremors with an intensity of upper 6 on the Japanese intensity scale of 0 to 7 were observed in the city of Hachinohe in Aomori Prefecture. And we're getting some information of injuries in the city of Hachinohe that recorded the upper 6 on the Japanese seismic scale of 0 to 7. These injuries reports are coming from a hotel in Hachinohe. We do not know yet whether it was the hotel employee or the guests, but some people seem to have been injured in the city of Hachinohe, where the seismic scale of upper 6 was recorded. And if you are in any of the areas that felt a strong tremor, try to remain in a safe place and protect yourself. Use extreme caution if you must move, and damages around you could be heavy. Stay alert, and more tremors are possible. Again, more tremors could be possible. The National Police Agency is working with its headquarters across the country to gather information on quake damage. Meanwhile, the Defense Ministry says fighter jets and patrol helicopters are being used to gather information. There is no sign reported that any major fire had erupted as of midnight Tuesday. Hokkaido University professor Takahashi Hiroaki says there is a risk of another earthquake. He says the quake is believed to have occurred where the Pacific plates sink into the land plate. Takahashi adds that in places where the tremors were particularly strong, people should not enter houses that were damaged. He says stay in safe places. He also points out that many old recorded Japanese seismic scale of 6 or upper, your houses and buildings, even though after surviving the initial tremor, it could take more damage and it could possibly collapse if there will be more tremors. So it would be a good idea, as the professor points out, to go to an evacuation center nearby. When you do that, watch out for oncoming traffic and falling objects and collapsed buildings. And transportation. East Japan Railway Company says that as of Tuesday, outbound trains on the Tohoku Shinkansen have been suspended between Fukushima and Shin Aomori stations due to the earthquake. The company says 3 trains stopped in this section. The company says that it is checking for any damage to railway tracks and that it remains unclear when services will resume. The Morioka branch of East Japan Railway says that as midnight on Tuesday, services on the Tohoku main line were suspended in Iwate Prefecture. It says 2 trains made emergency stops. It remains unclear when services will resume. There are no reports of injuries. As for Hokkaido, the operator of its busiest airport, New Chitose Airport near Sapporo City, says that as of 11:40 p.m. on Monday, it was checking whether there are any abnormalities on 2 runways. Highways have been affected. East Nippon Expressway Company says that as of 11:45 p.m. on Monday, traffic was completely stopped between the Shiraoi and Shin Chitose Airport interchanges and between the Tomakomai Higashi and Numano Hata.
We are currently awaiting the press conference from the Japanese Meteorological Agency and the Japanese government, which will be happening in 14 minutes. But in the meantime, I want to provide you with a quick update on what the situation is looking like right now and what all the latest news and information, is. So, as of what we know so far, we know that at least 15 people are injured. We don't know about fatalities, but we know that 15 people are injured. We know that fires have broken out in Aomori City. We know that waves have already struck some of the areas, so we're essentially now awaiting for the tsunami warnings and advisories to expire at 1:09 a.m. or, if you are in my time, at 8:09 a.m. Texas Central Daylight Time. A 70 centimeter tsunami struck the region, or the city of Kujiport in Iwate Prefecture, which 70 centimeters might not seem big, but it can be enough to big enough to knock down people. So that's what we know so far. The Japanese government has been fully assembled to deal with the preparations for this disaster. A report or a headline came in from one of the university papers in the University of Tokyo, and they say that a major earthquake, a mega earthquake, is possible. So an earthquake that would be above the magnitude 8.5 is possible within the trench or within the plates, or the earthquake, within the earthquake faults that were used in the midst of this earthquake. We will continue live coverage on this earthquake and on this situation until further notice. But until then, continue to stand by for a special report. Continue to stand by. Continue to stand by for that news.
Areas are also highlighted in red on the map on the right-hand side of your screen. Waves of up to 3 meters are expected. And as long as this tsunami warning is in effect, you have to stay on alert and keep evacuating. And do not let your guard down. Again, do not go back to where you came from to, say, get your belongings and items. In past disasters, people lost their lives when they did so. So please do stay in a safe place where you are if you have already evacuated. And for those people under a tsunami advisory that are Hokkaido's East Pacific Coast, Hokkaido's West Pacific Coast, as well as Miyagi Prefecture, stay away from coastline. And if you are doing work in the middle of some kind of activities, either inside the bay or in water, please stop that right away and stay away from coastline river mouth, which could overflow. And while it is very important to stay on alert for tsunami waves, also you got to watch out for more tremors to follow. Especially the Hachinohe city in Aomori Prefecture recorded upper 6 on the Japanese seismic scale of 0 to 7. It was a really strong earthquake, so more tremors could be possible, so please stay on alert. Please stay away from anything that could possibly collapse on you. So we gotta be careful watching out both for tsunami waves as well as more tremors. And now we are once again switching to our domestic service through simultaneous interpretation for more information.
70 centimeters of tsunami have been observed in Kuji port in Iwate Prefecture. Expected height of tsunami there is 3 meters. At present, please don't underestimate the power of tsunami. Tsunami waves could be higher and tsunami could hit repeatedly. While the warning is in effect, please stay away from the coast. And Seikan, the shipping line connecting Hakodate and the Aomori have been suspended as of 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. The ship bound for Hakodate cannot enter the port, and the ship is waiting off the coast. There has been no information about the passengers on board, but the ship is well stocked with water and food. As of 1 a.m., the ship navigating to Hakodate cannot enter the port. The ship carries enough amount of water and food, and it carries about 30 passengers. The intensity, the upper scale earthquake has occurred, and the meteorological agency has been issuing warnings to possible subsequent earthquakes.
So in the past, if there was a large earthquake, there could be a following earthquake that could be at the similar levels. And this time we had a maximum of upper 6 that had hit the area. So further on, there could be a similar size earthquake. And with that, like there's a vulnerable building or the furniture that could fall down, and also the ground loose, there could be a possible landslide, and there could be a further damage. So going on with the possible jolt, you have to stay on alert. And also, tsunami is forcing people to evacuate, and it is now going. You see the rain and snow, and also the temperatures dropping, and you have to be careful about the hypothermia. And if there's a rain and your body becomes wet, your body temperature will drop. So you have to wear the raincoat, for example. And if there's a building nearby, you can evacuate into the building and try to stay warm with everyone around you. So please be careful about your body temperature dropping. and keep evacuation. Yes, and you have to stay warm and keep warm, but with possible earthquake, you have to be careful about the possibility of fire. Yes, and there's a report that already fire have been happening. So if you're using fire, open fire, and there's a stoves, if there's a strong jolt that could hit the area, there could be possible fire spreading. So please take every precaution to stay warm. And earlier, within JMS news conference, there was a graph indicating the sea level change, but this tide level, how are you going to perceive this? Yes, so there is this graph, and with the possible wave forms, and there could be a larger waves, and also there's, of course, an ebbing, and also more waves approaching. So there are still tsunamis approaching these affected areas, and with the tsunamis observation, you can see some latest information, and this is about 10 centimeters or so, but the estimated height of the tsunami is up to 3 meters, and further on, there could be a reflection and also an overlapping of the wave, and a higher tsunami could hit this area, so please keep evacuating. And if you're still not evacuating, please head to the higher grounds, and that is crucial for everyone to do. And so with jolt that has been felt in these areas, and about 2 hours that have passed after the initial earthquake, you may want to try to get some sleep.
NHK World Japan is bringing you breaking news on a strong earthquake that struck northern Japan. The quake struck off the eastern coast of Aomori Prefecture at 11:15 p.m. on Monday. Its focus was 50 kilometers deep, and the magnitude is estimated at 7.6. Authorities have issued a tsunami warning for the Pacific coastline in northern Japan, including Iwate and parts of Hokkaido and Aomori prefectures. Authorities warned that waves as high as 3 meters could hit the prefectures. And the tsunami advisory is in place for other parts of the region, including Miyagi and Fukushima prefectures. And now Chief Cabinet Secretary Kihara Minoru is speaking to reporters.
この地震に伴い、北海道、青森県
In Hokkaido, Aomori, and Iwate prefectures, Pacific coastline, tsunami warning have been issued, and as high as the 3 meters of tsunami is expected. And in Kuji Port in Iwate prefecture, 70 centimeters of tsunami have already been observed at 1:19 a.m. So if you live in these areas, please evacuate immediately to a higher ground or the highest level of your building. And in nuclear power stations in Hokkaido, the check is underway, but for other nuclear power stations in the affected areas, there has been no report of abnormalities. And as of the 1:15 a.m., the survey is underway for injuries, and there have been some the fires breaking out, and the power outage or the in Iwate prefectures, 100 households they have lost the power, and there has been no report of the water service stoppage. And also in Tohoku Shinkansen between Fukushima and Shin Aomori, services have been suspended. And also the 2 railway operators have suspended their services. And also at the other the 2 lines, the traffic service, the transportation services have been suspended, and the self-defense forces has already been checking for any damage, and if there is any report of the missing the people, the search and rescue operations will immediately be commenced. And the to Aomori Prefecture, we've decided to send our personnel to collect more information there. And people are advised to stay on alert for the earthquake of up to the 6 on the Japanese intensity scale, as well as pay close attention to news for further information. And in Hokkaido, the Hokkaido for the Sanriku Pacific area, the subsequent the earthquake alert could be issued, as will be explained later.
So this alert will cover Hokkaido to Sanriku area, and when the possibility of a megaquake is judged to be higher than usual, we are going to issue this kind of alert. And if this alert is actually issued, regardless of the affected areas or not, please keep informed of the latest information from the municipalities, and try to fix your furniture and try to reconfirm the preparedness. And once there is a jolt, please be fully prepared to start evacuating. So now we have the news conference with JMA and the Cabinet Office. So this is live with JMA and also Cabinet Office. So we would like to start the news conference with the time had reached. So please start the explanation. Yes, so this is an explanation from JMA. So before going into the explanation using the materials about the latest situation, the warnings and advisory of tsunami. So last night at 11:15 in east off coast Aomori, there was an earthquake that had happened, and with that we have issued tsunami warning and advisories. The tsunami warning is in effect in the areas. Please keep evacuating if you're in those areas. And in the area under tsunami advisory, please go out of the ocean and try to evacuate as far away from the coastal areas as possible. So with this news conference, with the earthquake that has occurred in off east coast of Aomori area, not only the explanation will cover that, but on 2 a.m., the JMA had mentioned about the possibility of the coast of Hokkaido and Sanriku subsequent earthquake advisory. We're going to update some the details. So at 11:15 Monday in Aomori east of the east coast, with the detailed analysis. So this is with the national policy. We're going to issue the alert, and there was a standard that was met, and in this 12:02, the government had issued off the coast of Hokkaido, Sanriku, and subsequent earthquake advisory. We have officially issued this alert, and we're going to get the details of this alert. Yeah, so with that, Cabinet Office in charge of disasters, with the announcement of this advisory, we're going to give you what people should be prepared for. And this explanation is to have the full preparation for the possible earthquake. And if there is an adequate response that has been taken to the previous earthquake, please focus on that. So on this slide on the lower part with the analysis and the statistics of the earthquakes in the world, there could be a 1% of possibility of the magnitude 8 or more could happen subsequently with the sea trenches around the Nihon Trench and also Tsushima Trench.
Of course, it's not sure whether the earthquake of this size could actually happen, but we need to be prepared for it. And this shows what to expect. we should continue the preparation for earthquakes, to check where to evacuate and the evacuation route, and how to communicate with the family members and stock up of food and water, as well as the fixing your furniture. Over the next week, you should be ready to evacuate immediately and carry emergency supplies and the goods at all times. And this is the area where these measures should be taken. 180 municipalities from Hokkaido to the Chiba Prefecture on the Pacific coastline of the Japanese archipelago. And if you live in these areas, you need to evacuate immediately when the earthquake or tsunami warnings are issued. And you should be aware of the evacuation center. And also, you should have the emergency supplies or emergency takeaway goods nearby at all times. And this shows more details, the steps that you should take. You need to know where you should evacuate and how to communicate, to contact with their families, and immobilize your furniture, and to prevent the fire, and also prepare for living in evacuation centers. And for businesses, you also should know where to evacuate and how to guide your personnel or the users or their facilities. And so that you can continue your normal business activities as much as possible.
And in order to avoid unnecessary chaotic situation, please be aware of disinformation and misinformation. Please do not try to spread those kind of information. So, for example, in what month and what day there could be a mega earthquake, but those kind of prediction is not going to be made by the government. So please be careful about those possibilities. And also try to have minimized disruption in economic and social activities. Please do not hoard and try to buy too much of the food and the daily necessities. And the measures to be taken is going to depend on where you are living and how the earthquake had actually happened. So please try to listen to what have been ordered from your municipalities, and please keep up with the latest updated information and try to act adequately and appropriately. And we would like to also issue some information on the website of the Cabinet Office, and also we're going to use X and accounts and the social media to try to disseminate more information. So from JMA, with our materials, we would like to update on the alert or the advisory for the off the coast of Hokkaido and Sanriku subsequent earthquake. And it says November, but this is December actually. So on the website, we're going to have the correct information. So this is the outline of the off the coast of Hokkaido, Sanriku subsequent earthquake advisory. So 11:15 last night, there was an earthquake off the coast of eastern Aomori, and the magnitude was 7.4. We have determined the number here. And in Nemuro offshore from the Tohoku Sanriku coastal areas, this could be relatively high possibility of the mega earthquake in these areas. So if those kinds of major earthquake would happen, large size tsunami could hit the area, and there could be a strong jolt hitting these areas. So here on this slide, this is about the information on the earthquake CMT value has been issued, and moment magnitude was 7.4. So we have the reverse fault earthquake with the axis from the north, south to east, west. And for the cases that had been with the subsequent earthquake, like on 2011 in Sanrika with the moment magnitude of 7.4, as you may all know, moment magnitude 9.0 mega earthquake had hit from the off coast of the Pacific areas. And in 1986, Etorofu and Nantum areas, moment magnitude 7.0 earthquake had happened. After 18 hours, and then moment magnitude of 7.8 had happened. And on the right side was the moment magnitude 7.1 had occurred. Within 7 days, there was a moment magnitude of 8 class had happened. And right after the earthquake that happened, 2 days or so, there's a high possibility. And then the possibility would start to decline.
So within 7 days after the happening of the magnitude the 7 earthquake, then there is a possibility, these possibilities of the another mega earthquake. This is the warning concerning the possible subsequent earthquake in Hokkaido or off the coast of Sanriku. This doesn't mean that the mega earthquake will occur. But the earthquake could occur at any time, so we urge people to always be prepared. But the higher possibility of the lower scale earthquakes could also be prepared for, and outside of the earthquake hit areas, another earthquake, strong earthquake, could occur, and also. And the possibility of the subsequent earthquake could be lower if the area is far away from the earthquake. And as I said in the previous press conference, in this the strongest the quake the intensity recorded was the 6, and also the magnitude was the 7. The moment magnitude was 7, and the magnitude of the JMA is the 7.5, and the focus of the earthquake is the 50 kilometers from the surface of the Earth. And a yellow area shows the area where the afterquakes of the 2011 earthquake, but this earthquake of last night occurred outside of this yellow marked area.
Now, new information in. So about 11:15 last night, there was this earthquake that happened, and the GMA said that they have analyzed the observed data. The magnitude had been revised from 7.6 to 7.5, and also the depth of the earthquake had been updated from 50 kilometers to 54 kilometers. And also, off the coast of Hokkaido's Sanriku subsequent earthquake advisory, the moment magnitude was 7.4. So 11:15 last night with the earthquake that happened off east coast of Aomori Prefecture. The JMA had analyzed the number, and the magnitude had been revised from the simple type, and also the depth had been updated from 50 kilometers to 54 kilometers. And west of the coast of Hokkaido and Sanriku subsequent earthquake advisory, the moment magnitude is now estimated at 7.4. That would affect the decision to issue the alert. So Yoritomi-san is with us again. So with this issuance of the off the coast of Hokkaido and Sanriku subsequent earthquake advisory, could you walk through what had been announced? Yes, this advisory had been issued, and the areas with the tsunami warning, you have to first focus on what you have to do with the warning until it's lifted. And magnitude 7, moment magnitude was 7.4 actually. This size of the large earthquake would affect the area. With that, like Hokkaido to Iwate Prefecture, with the sea trench of Tsushima and others, there could be a higher possibility of the similar size of tsunami, the earthquake that could happen. So people have to, of course, focus on the latest information, but the authority had issued this advisory. And also the area that could be affected, I would like to use some slides to indicate what could happen and what people have to be on alert. So first of all, this time, magnitude 7 class earthquake happened off the coast of Aomori Prefecture. So with that, we had a moment magnitude of 7.4 earthquake that had happened right here in this area. So with that, so these highlighted areas from Hokkaido to Sanriku, off the coast of Sanriku, this area, there could be a higher possibility that there could be a similar size of earthquake that could happen and that could follow. So with that, the authority had issued the advisory. And this targeted area, assumed area, so if the earthquake would happen here, tsunami up to 3 meters could hit the area, and also there could be an earthquake of upper 6 could happen. So the area is like highlighted in light pink from Hokkaido to Chiba Prefecture. So these colored highlighted areas from Hokkaido to Chiba, about 182 municipalities are under this alert. So people living in this area, well, of course, if there's a tsunami warning, of course, you have to keep evacuating. But other than those areas, so it is not like you have to evacuate in precaution, but you have to reconfirm the preparedness for possible earthquake and tsunami. So that has been announced by the government. So there could be a possibility that mega earthquake could hit area, so people should check the evacuation center and the route to that center. And also you have to prepare for the emergency stockpile bags, and also have the furniture fixed, and also check the foods and the water that's going to be stockpiled, and prepare for evacuation if the possible earthquake could happen.
And emergency the packs should be carried at all times as well. Magnitude 7 earthquake occurred, and immediately after that, the big earthquake also happened, as we experienced in 2011. Magnitude 7.3 earthquake occurred 2 days before the magnitude 9 earthquake occurred in 1963. The 18 hours after the magnitude 7 earthquake occurred, a magnitude 8.5 earthquake occurred. It doesn't mean that the earthquakes can be predicted at all times, but based on the global data, the magnitude 7 earthquake could be followed by magnitude 8 earthquake, by the magnitude 8 earthquake at every 100 times. As the official said, people are urged to stay alert, stay on alert for another 7 days. Yes, for a week from now, people should be conscious of the another big earthquake happening at all times with the precautionary measures such as where your evacuation center is, how to reach it, and emergency supplies and emergency package that you could pick up and carry at all times. And it's already cold. I stationed in Hokkaido. I know how cold it can be in winter there. So you need to spend some time in a cold place.
For those of you just joining us, you're tuned into NHK's international service, NHK World Japan. You've been watching images from NHK's domestic service, and that's why they were Japanese language on your screen. As we've been reporting, a strong earthquake has struck northern Japan. The quake struck off the eastern coast of Aomori Prefecture at 11:15 p.m. on Monday. Its focus was 54 kilometers deep, and the magnitude is estimated at 7.5. Authorities have issued a tsunami warning for the Pacific coastline in northern Japan, including Iwate Prefecture and parts of Hokkaido and Aomori prefectures. Authorities warned that waves as high as 3 meters could hit the prefectures. So if you are in any of the areas under tsunami warning, you should keep evacuating to higher ground, and please do not return to where you were. And a tsunami advisory is in place for other parts of the region, including Miyagi and Fukushima prefectures. Authorities are calling on people to stay away from the coastline as well as the mouths of rivers. Strong tremors were felt across the region. Tremors with an intensity of upper 6 on the Japanese intensity scale of 0 to 7 were observed in the city of Hachinohe in Aomori Prefecture. If you are in these areas, try to remain in a safe place and protect yourself. Use extreme caution if you must move. Damage around you could be heavy. Stay alert. More tremors are possible. The Meteorological Agency says it is the first time the agency has issued a tsunami warning since July, when a powerful quake off Kamchatka, Russia, prompted it to issue one of Japan's Pacific coastal areas. According to authorities, long-period ground motions were recorded during the Monday earthquake. Long-period ground motions are slow, large-amplitude seismic waves with frequencies of 2 seconds or longer that occur during a large earthquake. Such motions are known to have a significant impact on high-rise buildings. Strong, long-period motions classified Class 3, the second highest in the 4-level scale, were observed in the village of Rokkasho in Aomori Prefecture. Such Class 3 waves are strong enough to make it difficult for people in a high-rise building to stand up. Officials have issued an alert for a potential megaquake in northern Japan, following the magnitude 7.5 quake that struck Monday night. Such tremors could trigger tsunami along Japan's Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba. Officials are urging people to check evacuation routes, prepare emergency kits, secure home furniture, and confirm backup food, water, and portable toilets. People along the Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba should remain on alert during the next week, even though an evacuation recommendation will not be issued. The alert is the first since this category of warning was started in 2022. Tokyo Electric Power Company says it has confirmed that there are no abnormalities at the Fukushima Daiichi and Daini nuclear plants. The company says it halted the release of treated and diluted water from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant at 11:42 p.m. on Monday, as per predetermined procedures. The facility suffered a triple meltdown during the March 2011 earthquake and tsunami. The water used to cool molten fuel has been mixing with rain and groundwater. That has been treated to remove most radioactive substances except tritium. It's then diluted, reducing levels of tritium to well below the World Health Organization's guidance for drinking water before it is released into the ocean. TEPCO also ordered some employees at the facility to evacuate. There have been no reports so far of injuries at the nuclear power plant. Tohoku Electric Power Company says no abnormalities have been detected at the Higashidori nuclear power plant in Aomori Prefecture or the Onagawa plant in Miyagi Prefecture. Hokkaido Electric Power Company says no problems have been found at the Tomari nuclear power plant in the prefecture. The National Police Agency is working with its headquarters across the country to gather information on quake damage. Meanwhile, the Defense Ministry says fighter jets and patrol helicopters are being used to gather information. There is no sign reported that any major fire had erupted as of 12 a.m. Tuesday. Hokkaido University professor Takahashi Hiroaki says there is a risk of another earthquake. He says the quake is believed to have occurred where the Pacific plates sink into the land plate. Takahashi adds that in places where the tremors were particularly strong, people should not enter houses that were damaged. He says they should stay in safe places. He also points out that many old buildings along the sea in Aomori Prefecture's Hachinohe City may have suffered damage. He also calls on people to consider moving to evacuation centers where they can warm up as soon as possible. Now, once again, let's listen into NHK's domestic service with simultaneous interpretation.
And then the horizontal quake had happened, and we were working, and we were trying to hold on to the shelves, and the tremor lasted for 1 minute. Object had fallen from the shelf, but there is no possible damage with buildings. So in Aomori Hachinohe town, the hotel workers said that there are multiple people with injuries, and they had called the ambulance to take people to hospital, and people are still conscious. And also, there was a thrust upwards, and then there was a horizontal tremors, and they were working then, so they were trying to hold onto the shelves, and the tremor lasted for 1 minute. There was some fallen object, but there is no observed damage of the building. And in coastal areas, there are a tsunami observation that have been updated. So Kamaishi Port, Iwate Prefecture, 20 centimeters of tsunami has been observed in 150. In Fukushima Soma Port, 20 centimeters tsunami has been observed in 150. And tsunami have been approaching the areas, and tsunami could hit repeatedly. And people should exercise caution and try to keep evacuating. And there are information of possible fires. And Aomori City, there was an intensity of 4, and then the fire had occurred in Kobata residential areas, and one elderly man is hospitalized with consciousness. So as of 1 a.m., fire engine 4 is trying to extinguish the fire, and they haven't identified whether that's related to the earthquake. So they're 50 meters away from the Kobata kindergarten. So in Aomori City, where there was an intensity of 4 registered around 1:04 a.m. With the residential building in the city, there was a fire that had started, and the elderly man with consciousness had been sent to hospital. So, as of 1 a.m., a full fire engine had been working to extinguish fire, and there is no relationship with the earthquake that had been established. And this 50 meters away from the kindergarten in the cottage area, and there could be a possible fire that could happen. And with power outages, and there could be a power that's resumed, and then there could be a fire, and also the gas leakage could also trigger fire. So there could be a possibility of fire that could follow the earthquake. So please try to be on alert where the power would resume. And also gas leakage could trigger fire, so people should take every precaution. And there's an information evacuation. So in coastal areas in Hoshinohe City, there is a designated city hall that's for the evacuation building, and about 150 residents have been taking shelter there.
And the people stay on the second and the third floors, but the elevators are out of service, so people have to carry elderly people on their backs to the third and the second areas, the floors. And at another evacuation center, 5 people took refuge. And in Konaka Public Hall, 150 people have taken refuge as of 2 a.m. The carpets laid in a room on the second and third floors, and the people carry elderly people to higher levels since elevators have been out of service. And at another location, the partitions are used to separate the room to accept 5 people. This is the Takaichi Sanae, the Prime Minister, at the Prime Minister's residence. At 11:15 p.m. yesterday, the earthquake occurred and recorded 6, upper 6 on the Japanese the Richter scale in Hachinohe City, and tsunami warning have been issued in Hokkaido and Aomori prefectures. And we established the task force at the Prime Minister's office to collect information. As of now, 7 the people have been injured according to the information received, but we continue to collect information concerning damage sustained. And tsunami warnings have been issued, and as high as 3 meters of waves have been expected, and the people are urged to evacuate immediately to higher ground or the higher levels of buildings. And as a result of the detailed examination, the mega scale, the possibility of mega scale has been higher than normal. So the subsequent earthquake, the advisory have been issued for Hokkaido and the Sanriku areas. So if you are in these areas, you are urged to stay on alert for a week for information issued by the JMA, as well as take measures to prevent damage and be prepared for immediate evacuation if necessary.
So that was Prime Minister Takaichi's comment. So Chief Cabinet Secretary Minoru Kihara had given his comment, and starting from 3 a.m., they're going to start the emergency meeting. So the government is trying to grasp the information on the possible earthquake damages, and Chief Cabinet Kihara in the second news conference, starting from 3 a.m., there is going to be a meeting with the relevant stakeholders within the government. So in Prime Minister's office, there's a secretariat and task force that is trying to collect information and have the most appropriate measures in place. And we have a phone call in the area that has observed an upper 6. So the convenience owner Yamada Nobu So in the affected area, we have the phone call with him, Yamada-san. So thank you very much for your time. Are you in a safe place? Yes, so I've secured a safe place. So Yamada-san, are you injured? Are you okay? Yes, fortunately, I don't suffer any injuries. So when the earthquake happened, where were you and what kind of jolt you have felt? Well, I was nearby my convenience store, and at that time, I have some experience with the earthquakes, but it's like an unprecedented tremor. I was totally surprised and taken aback. So there was unprecedented tremor. So are there any impacts with this earthquake? Well, I happened to be at the parking lot, and I thought maybe my cars would just turn around. So instantly, I felt like that with that kind of strong earthquake, this was unprecedented. There were some strong jolts that I have experienced, but this was an unprecedented. So within your convenience store, what kind of damages did you see already? Well, of course, things have fallen down and there are some broken objects, and I have been cleaning up the floor of my convenience store. And what about the lifeline situations like water and power, etc.? Well, fortunately, lifeline-related issues, I haven't seen no trouble so far. So there are no power outages, etc. Yes, so far we are right. So within Aomori Prefecture, I know that the area is experiencing very cold weather. So what are the people around you and what are the weather like? It is really cold. Yes, so today, coincidentally, compared with normal December, it's a bit warmer night, so to speak. So with that, of course, it's very cold. So in the parking lot, we have lots of cars that have been evacuating their parking their cars to have taken a temporary shelter within their cars. So are there still cars there? Well, some cars have went away, but temporarily there were no spaces for additional cars to come in.
So many people used the parking lot in front of my store. So the tremors continues. Do you feel tremors still? Yes, I do, but I'm busy cleaning up the store. So we haven't had the major, very strong earthquake since then. So we remain very careful. So tsunami warning is still in effect. Have you heard of any information about other people taking refuge? Yes, it's the midnight. So people want to use the restrooms. And our toilets are open for people who have been taken refuge. This is the very little that we can do, as well as distributing drinks to people, and we encourage the people with each other. Mr. Yamada, thank you very much. So please remain in a safe place and protect yourself. Thank you. This is Mr. Yamada, the owner of a convenience store in Hachinohe City. And this is live from Kushiro of Hokkaido. I'm in Nusamai Park in central Kushiro area. It is more than 20 meters above the sea level. The tsunami advisory has been issued in Kushiro. The small tremor has just been felt. This is Nusamai village, and you see Kushiro River. The water level hasn't been changed apparently, at least from here. I also saw 2 or 3 ships departing of the coast. And I also saw many cars taking refuge here, and a long line of cars was formed. And some people said that based on the tsunami of the 2011 and also in this year's Kamchatka, the earthquake, the people decided to take refuge here.
And we are coming to you live from our NHK World Japan studio in Tokyo. As we've been reporting, a strong earthquake had struck northern Japan. The quake struck off the eastern coast of Aomori Prefecture at 11:15 p.m. on Monday. Its focus was 54 kilometers deep, and the magnitude is estimated at 7.5. Authorities have issued a tsunami warning for the Pacific coastline in northern Japan, including Iwate Prefecture and parts of Hokkaido and Aomori prefectures. Authorities warn that waves as high as 3 meters could hit the prefectures. People in those areas must evacuate to higher ground. If you haven't, you should do right now and stay there as long as the warning is in place. Also, a tsunami advisory is in place for other parts of the region, including Miyagi and Fukushima prefectures. Authorities are calling on people in these areas to stay away from the coastline as well as the mouths of rivers. Strong tremors were felt across the region. Tremors with an intensity of upper 6 on the Japanese intensity scale of 0 to 7 were observed in the city of Hachinohe in Aomori Prefecture. If you are in these areas, try to remain in a safe place and protect yourself. Use extreme caution if you must move. Damage around you could be heavy. Stay alert. More tremors are possible. Remember, more tremors are possible. The Meteorological Agency says it is the first time the agency has issued a tsunami warning since July, when a powerful quake off Kamchatka, Russia, prompted it to issue one for Japan's Pacific coastal areas. According to authorities, long-period ground motions were recorded during the Monday earthquake. Long-period ground motions are slow, large-amplitude seismic waves with frequencies of 2 seconds or longer that occur during a large earthquake. Such motions are known to have a significant impact on high-rise buildings. Strong long-period motions, classified Class 3, the second highest in the 4-level scale, were observed in the village of Rokkasho in Aomori Prefecture. Such Class 3 waves are strong enough to make it difficult for people in a high-rise building to stand up. Now, officials have issued an alert for potential megaquake in northern Japan following the magnitude 7.5 quake that struck Monday night. Such tremors could trigger tsunami along Japan's Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba. Officials are urging people to check evacuation routes, preparing emergency kits, secure home furniture, and confirm backup food, water, and portable toilets. People along the Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba should remain on alert during the next week, even though an evacuation recommendation will not be issued. The alert is the first since this category of warning was started in 2022. Local officials say 6 people in Japan's Aomori Prefecture were hurt in the Monday night earthquake. They said the extent of injuries was not clear. In Tohoku town, police received a report at around 11 p.m. on Monday that a car had fallen into a hole created when a road caved in. A man who appeared to be in his 50s was in the car and escaped on his own and was taken to a hospital with a back injury. Now, Tokyo Electric Power Company says it has confirmed that there are no abnormalities at the Fukushima Daiichi and Daini nuclear plants. The company says it halted the release of treated and diluted water from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant at 11:42 p.m. on Monday, as per predetermined procedures. The facility suffered a triple meltdown during the March 2011 earthquake and tsunami. The water used to cool molten fuel has been mixing with rain and groundwater. That has been treated to remove most radioactive substances except tritium. It's then diluted, reducing levels of tritium to well below the World Health Organization's guidance for drinking water before it is released into the ocean. TEPCO also ordered some employees at the facility to evacuate. There have been no reports so far of injuries at the nuclear power plant. Tohoku Electric Power Company says no abnormalities have been detected at the Higashidori nuclear power plant in Aomori Prefecture or the Onagawa plant in Miyagi Prefecture. Hokkaido Electric Power Company says no problems have been found at the Tomari nuclear power plant in the prefecture. The National Police Agency is now working with its headquarters across the country to gather information on quake damage. Meanwhile, the Defense Ministry says fighter jets and patrol helicopters are being used to gather information. There was no sign reported that any major fire had erupted as of midnight 12 a.m. Tuesday. Now, Hokkaido University professor Takahashi Hiroaki says there is a risk of another earthquake. He says the quake is believed to have occurred where the Pacific plates sink into the land plate. Takahashi adds that in places where the tremors were particularly strong, people should not enter houses that were damaged. He says they should stay in safe places. He also points out that many old buildings along the sea of Aomori Prefecture's Hachinohe City may have suffered damage. He also calls on people to consider moving to evacuation centers where they can warm up as soon as possible. Now let's go to our domestic service with simultaneous interpretation.
So there was a news conference at 2 a.m. So with the global earthquake in the past, with the statistics based on those earthquakes, within this 1 week, about 100, there could be a major earthquake in the trenches of Tsushima and Nihon. And there could be a mega earthquake, but it is not confirmed or fixed that there could be that earthquake that's happening. But we would like to ask people to protect their lives and prepare for possible damages. So we have Yoritomi-san with us again. So this time we have the advisory on off the coast of Hokkaido and Sanriku subsequent earthquake. So could you elaborate on this advisory? Yes, so I will use this slide. So here, the earthquakes that now we have new information in. So tsunami warning has been changed to tsunami advisory. So the tsunami warning has been changed to tsunami advisory. So this is the latest information. Now, tsunami warning has been changed to tsunami advisory. But people are advised not to go near the ocean or the river mouth. And we had the maximum of upper 6 that has been observed. So please stay in the safer place and keep evacuating. Now, tsunami warning have been changed to tsunami advisory. So Hokkaido and Central Pacific Coast and Iwate Prefecture and Aomori Pacific Coast area, there was earthquake warning, but that has changed to tsunami advisory. So please do not go near the river mouth and the coastal areas. Please do not go near those areas. So tsunami warning has been changed to tsunami advisory, but people in the advisory area, please keep away from river mouths and coastal areas. So Yoritomi-san, now let's return to where we were. So first of all, we had the tsunami warning, now that's changed to tsunami advisory. Yes, so the area inside the levee, there could be some tsunami, but the possibility of that is becoming more lower. But people are still advised not to go near the river mouths and the coastal areas, and please follow the instruction from the municipalities. So people should take precautions. And the area with the strong jolts, there could be an injured person, and there are some fire that's been reported. So with JMA announcing that in these areas where that experience strong jolts, there could be a similar size of earthquake that could come in these places. So there's this possibility still remaining. So in hazardous areas like building that could be prone to falling down and collapsing, and also areas that could have the risks of landslides with the loose grounds, please do not go near those areas.
And subsequent earthquake advisory has been issued for Hokkaido and off the coast of Sanriku as a result of this earthquake occurred here. With this earthquake, the pink, light pink area, these municipalities from there is the higher than normal possibility that another big earthquake could occur in this area. If that happens, in these 192 municipalities from Hokkaido to Chiba Prefecture, the tsunami of 3 meters or higher, or the intensity lower 6 or stronger earthquakes could occur in these areas. Statistically speaking, there is a 1% possibility that the stronger earthquake could occur based on global statistics. So they are urged, the people in these areas are urged to prepare for that possibility. This is not the warning to evacuate in advance, but the people are urged to take precautionary measures and get ready for any earthquake that can happen at any time. Be prepared for emergency package, fix your furniture, and check again where your evacuation center is, and so on. So be prepared, even though the evacuation order has not been issued. A major earthquake can happen, so if that occurs, other people need to move quickly, safely, without sustaining any injuries. At 2:30 a.m., Prime Minister Takaichi said that
So in Hachinohe City, with this earthquake, Hokkaido, Aomori Prefecture, Iwate Prefecture, coastal areas, there was a tsunami warning that has been issued. So the government, right after the earthquake, we had set up the task force in the Prime Minister's office and tried to collect the latest information. As of now, the report of the injury, that's up to 7 people, and we are continuously going to collect more information and update what we have to understand. And with that, tsunami warning had been issued, and up to 3 meters of tsunami is estimated. And we haven't lifted the warning yet, so people are advised to take to the safer place and take shelter with the higher ground and higher buildings. And the location and the intensity of the earthquake has been scrutinized. And then from Hokkaido to Sanriku area, compared with normal situation, there's a heightened possibility of the mega earthquake that could happen. So we should issue the subsequent earthquake advisory for off the coast of Hokkaido and Sanriku area. So regardless of the area that's going to be affected or not, for about 1 week, please take precautionary measures and try to focus on the latest information from JMA and government. And if there is a jolt that could happen, please be prepared to embrace yourself. So these are the information on the evacuation center. So Minato City Hall, about 100 people or more had evacuated around 1 a.m. So some cars were evacuated and parked temporarily in the schoolyard nearby, and also they used some stockpiled blankets. And people evacuated there had watched TV in a consent manner, but with the people operating the evacuation center, people look like as if they are a bit relieved. So in Hachimota City, Aomori Prefecture, in coastal areas, Minato's public hall was there, and with 100 residents that had been evacuating, and some cars were parked in the schoolyards nearby, and also the stockpiled blanket had not been passed around in sufficiently covering everyone. And people evacuated were looking at the TV with a concerned expression. But with the officials working to operate the evacuation center, now the people seemed a bit relieved. Now the offshore tsunami information have been updated. In Ofunato port in Iwate Prefecture, on 12:15 at 50 centimeters, and by 12:37, there was a 20-centimeter tsunami that has been observed in Iwate Prefecture. Now we have live from Sapporo Bureau of NHK. So this is from Sapporo. Within Hokkaido right now, we are under tsunami advisory. That has been changed from warning to advisory. Now the observed tsunami information. Murakawa town at 12:30, 50-centimeter tsunami has been observed. Erimo town on 12:16, 30-centimeter tsunami. Hiroo Tokachi port and in 1:30 and 30-centimeter tsunami has been observed.
And in Tomakomako East, the port 20 centimeters at 1:28, and Tomatomai East 30 centimeters, and in Morimachi 10% at 1:31, in Hamaka town 10 centimeters at 1:14, and in Hakodate 20 centimeters, and in Kushiro the several centimeters at the 12:50. JMA continues the measurement for any changes in the sea level. The tsunami advisory has been issued for Hokkaido, Pacific coast of Hokkaido. The several tens of the centimeters of tsunami can have very strong impact. Please do not go to the coastline in order to see the change of the sea, situation of the sea. This is live from Hiroo town of Hokkaido. Hiroo town is facing the Pacific coast. I'm in a safe place, in a higher place. We can see the Tokachi port. We haven't seen any changes of the sea level or the 20 centimeters, and then the 30 centimeters of the wave have been observed in Tomakomai.
For those of you just joining us, here's the latest from NHK's international service, NHK World Japan. The Japan Meteorological Agency has changed the tsunami warning to a tsunami advisory. This means people under the alert do not have to evacuate to higher ground, but need to stay away from the coastline and keep away from river mouths. And please stay alert. In the past, small fishing boats capsized in harbors under tsunami advisory. So please stay alert. Tsunami waves have already been observed along the following coastlines. Kuji Port in Iwate observed 70 centimeters of tsunami, 50 centimeters for Urakawa town in Hokkaido. Mutsu Ogawara Port saw 40 centimeters. Hachinohe Port 40 centimeters. Erimo town in Hokkaido and Tomakomai West Port in Hokkaido. Hiroo town's Tokachi Port in Hokkaido, they all saw 30 centimeters of tsunami reach their coasts. 20 centimeters have been observed along the following coastlines: Ohunato Port in Iwate Prefecture, Miyako Port, Iwate Prefecture, Ishinomaki City's Ayukawa in Miyagi, Sendai Port, Miyagi, Shiraoi Town, Hokkaido, Tomakomai East Port, Hokkaido, Hakodate Port, Hokkaido, Kamaishi Port, Iwate, Soma Port, Fukushima. And 10 centimeters have been recorded in Mori Town in Hokkaido and also Hamanaka Town, also in Hokkaido. Kushiro Port in Hokkaido have also saw for few centimeters of tsunami. But please stay alert. More tsunami are possible. The areas under the advisory are indicated on the map on the right-hand side of your screen in yellow. It is highlighted in yellow. So people under those areas need to keep away from coastlines and stay away from river mouths, which could overflow. Officials have issued an alert for a potential megaquake in northern Japan following the magnitude 7.5 quake that struck Monday night. Such tremors could trigger tsunami along Japan's Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba. Officials are urging people to check evacuation routes, prepare emergency kits, secure home furniture, and confirm backup food, water, and portable toilets. People along the Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba should remain on alert during the next week, even though an evacuation recommendation will not be issued. The alert is the first since this category of warning was started in 2022. Tokyo Electric Power Company says it has confirmed that there are no abnormalities at the Fukushima Daiichi and Daini nuclear plants. The company says it halted the release of treated and diluted water from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant at 11:42 p.m. on Monday as per predetermined procedures. The facility suffered a triple meltdown during the March 2011 earthquake and tsunami. The water used to cool molten fuel has been mixing with rain and groundwater. That has been treated to remove most radioactive substances except tritium. It is then diluted, reducing levels of tritium to well below the World Health Organization's guidance for drinking water before it is released into the ocean. TEPCO also ordered some employees at the facility to evacuate. There have been no reports so far of injuries at the nuclear power plant. Tohoku Electric Power Company says it confirmed a tidal change of 36 centimeters at the Higashidori nuclear power plant's port area in Aomori Prefecture. The plant has been out of operation, and officials say no abnormalities have been detected as a result of the earthquake. The company also says no abnormalities have been detected at the Onagawa plant in Miyagi Prefecture. Hokkaido Electric Power Company says no problems have been found at the Tomari nuclear power plant in the prefecture. Local officials say 6 people in Japan's Aomori Prefecture were hurt in the Monday night earthquake. They said the extent of injuries was not clear. In Tohoku Town, police received a report at around 11 p.m. Monday that a car had fallen into a hole created when a road caved in. A man who appeared to be in his 50s was in the car and escaped on his own and was taken to a hospital with a back injury. Now, the National Police Agency is working with its headquarters across the country to gather information on quake damage. The Defense Ministry says fighter jets and patrol helicopters are being used to gather information. There was no sign reported that any major fire had erupted as of 12 a.m. Tuesday. Hokkaido University professor Takahashi Hiroaki says there is a risk of another earthquake. He says the quake is believed to have occurred where the Pacific plates sink into the land plate. Takahashi adds that in places where the tremors were particularly strong, people should not enter houses that were damaged. He says they should stay in safe places. He also points out that many old buildings along the sea in Aomori Prefecture's Hachinohe City may have suffered damage. He also calls on people to consider moving to evacuation centers where they can warm up as soon as possible. Now let's go back to our domestic service with simultaneous interpretation.
三陸沖後発地震注意情報について内閣府と気象庁は午前2時から記者会見を
JMA and the Cabinet Office held the press conference at 2 a.m. Based on the global statistics, over the next week, there is a possibility, 1% possibility that the earthquake magnitude 8 earthquake could occur in the Chishima and Japan Trench area, and we need to protect ourselves, even though there is the certainty that the mega earthquake could occur.
まずですねこの初めてお聞きになったという方もいるかもしれません。
So many people may have heard these words. For the first time, subsequent earthquake advisory in Hokkaido and off the coast of Sanriku. The Monday's earthquake occurred here. It recorded magnitude 7, and from Nemuro all the way to the Sanriku coastline. In this area, another mega earthquake can happen with a higher possibility than normal.
So in this area, there could be a possibility that the major quake could happen. So in those areas, people are advised to reconfirm their preparedness. So what are the possible affected areas? So you can see the light pink highlighted areas. It's difficult to see, but in these areas, so in light pink, so in these areas, starting from Hokkaido to Chiba Prefecture, so along the Pacific coastal area, up to 182 municipalities could be impacted, facing the possibility. So if you are in these municipalities, there could be a heightened possibility of the major earthquake compared with the normal situation. So that's the basics of the government announcement. So in the past, what have been experienced was a similar example. So this is another map. So in latest situation in Greatest Japan earthquake that happened in 2011, so actually there was a magnitude 9.0 earthquake that happened, but 2 days before that, we had a magnitude 7.3 class earthquake that happened, and then there was a larger magnitude earthquake that hit the area. So last night's earthquake, that was a magnitude 7.5, and moment magnitude basis, that was 7.4, right? Yes, that was correct. So that's the magnitude 7 class earthquake that hit the area. So there could be a heightened possibility relatively compared with the normal situation that the major earthquake could come. And this is the case in 1963 off the coast of Etarofa Island. So back then, we had a magnitude 7.0 earthquake, and after that, there was a magnitude 8.5 that had hit the area 18 hours after that. So there were past examples. So we're not saying that it's a prediction and these earthquakes could definitely happen, but looking at the global cases and also the statistics, right after the magnitude 7 class earthquake, once in 100 times, there's a possibility, compared with the normal situation, there's a relatively higher possibility of the major earthquake that could follow. So if that could actually happen, people are advised to prepare and check how they have the stockpiles, etc. So relatively speaking, the possibilities have been heightened. So we have the Japan Sea Trench and also Tsushima Sea Trench. So these are the areas with the high and active seismic incidents happening. Yes, so there is a plate that's going under and sinking into the continental plate, so that is prone to earthquakes. So according to the materials of Cabinet Office and JMA, there is like normal times 1 in 1,000, but it's now 1 in 100. So it's like 0.1% to 1%. So that's their prediction. I mean the probability.
So the possibility is higher than normal. So we need to be more prepared than usual. So 182 municipalities could be affected. The warning has been issued for Nankai Trough earthquakes before. That is this similar? Yes, for Nankai Trough earthquake, warnings has been issued. So what we should do is almost the same. For next week or so, you need to be extra cautious. Even though the evacuation order has not been issued, specifically speaking, you need to know where to evacuate and what the route you should take. And you should have emergency kit at nearby, as well as you need to fix your furniture. The temperature is very low, so but you might have to stay at a higher place, safe place, in a cold temperature for some time, and so you need to dress warm. So even if earthquake hit your area, you need to prepare not to get injured. And among your family members, you need to have the same information that how to contact with each other in emergency. And some areas are hit by the shakes of the upper 6 or the lower 6 earthquakes, and you need to prepare for the shakes of the buildings or houses you are in. In Hachinohe Port in Aomori Prefecture, Konakanoko Public Hall, 150 people have taken refuge there. The rooms of the second and the third floors are covered with rugs and carpets, but the elevators are out of service. So some people carry elderly people on their backs to second or the third floors. And also 5 people have taken refuge in another place with at a public hall.
And in Hachinohe City, there are information about the ambulance. So the task force at Hachinohe City.
You are tuned into NHK's international service, NHK World Japan. As we've been telling you, the JMA has changed the tsunami warning to a tsunami advisory. This means that people under the alert do not have to evacuate to higher ground, but need to stay away from the coastline and keep away from river mouths. The advisory is now in effect for Hokkaido Prefecture's Central Pacific Coast, Aomori Prefecture's Pacific Coast, and Iwate prefectures. Waves of up to 1 meter can impact those areas. So please stay alert. In the past, small fishing boats capsized in harbors under tsunami advisory. So whether the JMA has changed the warning to a tsunami advisory, you still need to stay alert. Keep away from coast and river mouths which could overflow. And remember that tsunami can also hit repeatedly and still grow in size, so do not approach bodies of water to check the situation. And waves have already been observed along wide areas of these coasts. The highest so far is 70 centimeters for Kuji Port in Iwate Prefecture. Kuji Port saw waves as high as 70 centimeters. Urakawa town in Hokkaido saw 50 centimeters. Now, you might think 50 centimeters is not that high, but you are wrong. Even a 50-centimeter tsunami can exert power of up to 200 kilograms on a person's legs, so it will make it impossible for even an adult to stay upright. So please stay alert. Now, 40-centimeter tsunami have been observed in Mutsu-Ogawara Port in Aomori and Hachinohe Port also in Aomori Prefecture. 30 centimeters at Erimo Town in Hokkaido, Tomakomai West Port, Hokkaido, Hiroo Town's Tokachi Port, Hokkaido. 20 centimeters for Ofunato Port in Iwate and Miyako Port also in Iwate Prefecture. These are places where tsunami have been observed. Ishinomaki City's Ayukawa in Miyagi have seen 20 centimeters. Also 20 centimeters are Sendai Port, Shiraoi Town, Tomakomai East Port, Hakodate Port, Kamaishi Port, Soma Port. 10 centimeters have been seen in Mori Town, Hamanaka Town. Kushiro Port in Hokkaido also saw few centimeters of tsunami. So please keep yourself safe. Stay away from bodies of water, especially the coastline, and keep away from river mouths. Now, officials have issued an alert for a potential megaquake in northern Japan following this magnitude 7.5 quake that struck Monday night. Such tremors could trigger tsunami along Japan's Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba. So officials are urging people to check evacuation routes, prepare emergency kits, secure home furniture, and confirm backup food, water, and portable toilets. People along the Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba should remain on alert during the next week, even though an evacuation recommendation will not be issued. The alert is the first since this category of warning was started in 2022. Tokyo Electric Power Company says it has confirmed that there are no abnormalities at the Fukushima 42 p.m. on Monday as per predetermined procedures. The facility suffered a triple meltdown during the March 2011 earthquake and tsunami. The water used to cool molten fuel has been mixing with rain and groundwater. That has been treated to remove most radioactive substances except tritium. It is then diluted, reducing levels of tritium to well below the World Health Organization's guidance for drinking water before it is released into the ocean. TEPCO also ordered some employees at the facilities to evacuate. There have been no reports so far of injuries at the nuclear power plant. Tohoku Electric Power Company says it confirmed a tidal change of 36 centimeters at the Higashidori nuclear power plant's port area in Aomori Prefecture. The plant has been out of operation, and officials say no abnormalities have been detected as a result of the earthquake. The company also says no abnormalities have been detected at the Onagawa plant in Miyagi Prefecture. Hokkaido Electric Power Company says no problems have been found at the Tomari nuclear power plant in the prefecture. Now, local officials say 6 people in Japan's Aomori Prefecture were hurt in the Monday night earthquake. They said the extent of injuries was not clear. In Tohoku Town, police received a report at around 11 p.m. on Monday that a car had fallen into a hole created when a road caved in. A man who appeared to be in his 50s was in the car and escaped on his own and was taken to a hospital with a back injury. The National Police Agency is working with its headquarters across the country to gather information on quake damage. The Defense Ministry says fighter jets and patrol helicopters are being used to gather information. There was no sign reported that any major fire had erupted as of 12 a.m. Tuesday. Now, Hokkaido University professor Takahashi Hiroaki says there is a risk of another earthquake. He says the quake is believed to have occurred where the Pacific plates sink into the land plate. Takahashi adds that in places where the tremors were particularly strong, people should not enter houses that were damaged. He says they should stay in safe places. He also points out that many old buildings along the sea in Aomori Prefecture's Hachinohe City may have suffered damage. He also calls on people to consider moving to evacuation centers where they can warm up as soon as possible. Now let's turn to our domestic service with simultaneous interpretation.
So please do not go near the river mouth. So this is from Sendai Bureau. Now we have the response from the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure and Transport. So with the upper sixth earthquake around 1:30, the executive members had gathered to start the task force, and Minister Kaneko said that he ordered people to gather the latest information. So Minister Kaneko said that up until now, and there's no temporary halt in the expressway. And also, there are some suspended services in Shinkansen bullet train services. And the patrol ship and the fighter jets have been sent from the Coast Guard. And then the helicopter is going to be sent to the places to check the latest situation. Minister Kaneko says that the ministry will do utmost to collect the latest information and try to appropriately disseminate the information. And he ordered this to the senior members of the task force and the ministry. Now, from Atsuma Town, Hokkaido, there is an information about injuries. So the fire headquarters in Atsuma Town to try to go around and check the situation. The man in 50s fallen down and hit his head and was sent to the hospital, but there's no life-threatening situation that's been confirmed. And roads have been caving in some places. So in Tohoku Town, Otomo, there was an upper 5 intensity registered, and the half side of the national road have been caved in. And the light vehicle has been there and just barely staying on the surface of the road. And there were no drivers observed this in the cars. And nearby this area, the workers are trying to evacuate the cars nearby to the safer places. So in Hokkaido to Fukushima Prefecture, in coastal areas and Pacific side, there's tsunami advisory still been issued. Estimated height of the tsunami is up to 1 meter. So far, in each coastal areas, there were some tsunamis that have been observed, and also the information on the tsunami tidal gauge situation. So Kuji Town, that's 5 centimeters, and Aomori, Mutsu, Ogawara, and Hatsum report, that's 40 centimeters, and Hokkaido's Erima Town and Tomakomai West Port, that's 30 centimeters. And Hokkaido Hiro and Tokachi Town, there was 30 centimeter tsunami that's been observed.
During tsunami advisory is in effect, please stay on alert. The cabinet, at the 2 a.m. JMA and the cabinet office held a press conference concerning the subsequent earthquake advisory for Hokkaido and Sanriku coastal area. Given the global earthquake statistics, during the next 7 days, there is a 1% possibility that the magnitude 8 or larger earthquake could occur in the Japan Trench or Tsushima Trench area. It is uncertain whether such a major earthquake can really occur, but everybody should be prepared to protect themselves. So subsequent earthquake advisory has been issued. So what is it? This is the first advisory of this type that has been issued in Japan. The Monday's earthquake occurred here of the magnitude 7 or larger than that. And from the Nemuro all the way to the Sanriku coastline and off the coast of this area, a large earthquake can happen. The Pacific plate sinks into the land plate. So this is the earthquake-prone area. The possibility of occurring earthquake has risen. If magnitude 8 class earthquake occurs here, then a major or mega tsunamis could hit the coastal area in a very short period of time. So these from Hokkaido to the Chiba Prefecture, 182 municipalities on the Pacific coastline should be prepared to take action immediately if earthquake actually occurs.
So that's the information issued to up to 7 prefectures. So, for example, up to 3 meters of tsunami could happen, and also there could be a jolt of upper 6 or larger that could happen. So with that type of mega earthquake that actually hits the area, there could be a larger damage to a certain extent. So people are advised to be well prepared beforehand. So in the past, there were some examples. We can see from here on this map. Here, these were the past cases. So in these areas, similarly, a magnitude 7 class earthquake happened, and then the mega earthquake had followed. So the most recent ones was in 2011. There was a Great East Japan earthquake, and we saw magnitude.
We are coming to you live from our NHK World Japan studio in Tokyo. As we've been reporting, following the magnitude 7.5 quake that struck Monday night, officials have issued an alert for a potential megaquake in northern Japan. Such tremors could trigger tsunami along Japan's Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba. Once again, officials have issued an alert for a potential megaquake in northern Japan. Such tremors could trigger tsunami along Japan's Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba. So officials are urging people to check evacuation routes, prepare emergency kits, secure home furniture, and confirm backup food, water, and portable toilets. People along the Pacific coast from Hokkaido to Chiba should remain on alert during the next week, even though an evacuation recommendation will not be issued. The alert is the first since this category of warning was started in 2022. The Japan Meteorological Agency has changed the tsunami warning to a tsunami advisory. This means that people under the alert do not have to evacuate to higher ground, but they need to stay away from the coastline and keep away from river mouths. The advisory is in effect for Hokkaido Prefecture's Central Pacific Coast, Aomori Prefecture's Pacific Coast, and Iwate Prefecture. So please, people in these areas, you have to continue to stay on alert. Waves of up to 1 meter can still impact your areas. So anyone in those areas, please stay away from coastlines and keep away from river mouths. In the past, small fishing boats capsized in harbors under a tsunami advisory. Waves have already been observed. The highest so far has been 70 centimeters at Kuji Port in Iwate Prefecture. This port has seen waves of 70 centimeters hit their coast. Other areas, wide areas, have also seen waves reach their coast. They range from 50 centimeters to a few centimeters. But please, the advisory is still in effect. This means that waves of up to 1 meter can impact your area. So if you are in these areas, you need to stay away from the coastlines and please keep away from river mouths. So my message is please stay alert. We will bring you updates in the coming hours, so please stay tuned. You're watching NHK World Japan.